Hey, have you ever seen a really simple idea that just completely changes things and you think to yourself, how did they even come up with that? Well, today we're going to unpack creative thinking. And I'm not talking about some rare talent only artists have. Nope. This is a powerful, practical tool that anyone can use to solve real world problems. Let's dive in and see how you can use it to make a real impact. So take a look at this. It's the logo for the Flying Wings Online School. Now, in Afghanistan, they were facing these massive barriers to education. But instead of seeing an impossible problem, they saw a chance for a creative solution. And that solution? An online school. It's just a perfect example of how a fresh idea, born out of a serious need, is already making a huge difference in people's lives. And that really gets us to our first big idea. You see, creativity isn't just for painters or musicians. It's a fundamental skill for, well, for everyone. For engineers, for entrepreneurs, for community leaders, for you. At its core, it's really just a powerful tool for solving problems. This definition here really nails it. Creative thinking isn't magic. It's all about perspective. It's that ability to just step back from a situation, look at it from a completely different angle, and find a path forward that, maybe nobody else saw before. And when you boil it all down, this entire process gets started by two very simple but incredibly powerful questions. What if, and why not? It's the mindset that asks, what if we could use basic smartphones to teach classes? Or why not build a curriculum that can work even when the internet is bad? That kind of curiosity, well, that's the engine that drives all innovation. Okay, but having a brilliant idea, that's only half the battle. The other half, the really crucial part, is connecting that creative spark to a real purpose. It's not just about coming up with ideas. It's about thinking for impact. And notice the key word here. Creative thinking is a skill. That is so important. Why? Because skills aren't things you're just born with. They can be learned. They can be practiced. They can be developed. It's the skill of seeing things differently, of connecting dots that seem unrelated, and just staying open to even the craziest sounding possibilities. And right here is its partner, impact. An idea only really has impact when it creates a real, positive, and, this is key, measurable change. That could be social, like improving education. It could be economic, like creating jobs, or it could be environmental. The point is, a great idea doesn't just need to be creative, it has to actually work and make a difference. So where do these game-changing ideas even come from? Well, honestly, they're everywhere. They come from the problems you see every single day, from your own life experiences, from needs you see right in your own community, and, of course, from your own curiosity and imagination. Inspiration isn't some far-off thing. You just have to look around. Okay, so now we get what creative thinking is and why it's so important. So let's get practical. How do you actually do it? How do you generate these kinds of ideas when you need them? Well, it's time to open up the toolkit. First up, we've got a classic, and it's a classic for a reason: brainstorming. I'm sure we've all done it, but the secret is in the approach. It's designed to just get every single possibility out on the table, freeing your mind from its usual tracks. And right here is the one rule to rule them all. You have to shut off that inner critic. At this stage, it's all about quantity, not quality. Just get every single thought down, no judgment whatsoever. Why? Because sometimes the absolute wildest, most out there idea is the one that's hiding the seed of a truly brilliant solution. Next up, here's a fantastic tool for all you visual thinkers out there: mind mapping. If you're someone who thinks more in connections and pictures instead of just straight lists, this one is definitely for you. It's really simple. You start with your main idea in the middle, let's say education. Then you just start branching out. So education might lead you to think about online classes, and that branch could split off to mobile apps, which then might spark the idea of offline content for people with spotty internet. See how one idea just flows into the next? It creates this whole web of possibilities. Now, if brainstorming feels a little, chaotic for you, you might really like the Scamper method. This is a much more structured approach. It basically gives you a series of prompts to help you systematically innovate on an idea you already have. So Scamper is an acronym, and as you can see, each letter asks you to think in a different way. Let's try it with our online school idea. S, substitute. What if we substituted live teachers with AI tutors for some subjects? C, combine. Could we combine online video lessons with in-person study groups? R, reverse. What if instead of students coming to the school online, the lessons were sent out to them, maybe through text messages? It's kind of like a workout for your creative muscles.
Okay, so we've gone from the structured scamper method to our final tool, which is about something even more fundamental. It's about totally changing your perspective just by changing the questions that you're asking.
Right, so instead of just asking, how do I solve this, try asking, who is most affected by this problem and what do they really need? Or, like you see here, ask yourself, how can I solve this in a way that is completely different from everything anyone has ever tried before? You'll find that the quality of your ideas is directly tied to the quality of your questions. All right, so you've used the toolkit, you've brainstormed, you've landed on a fantastic idea. So what's next? This next part is all about crossing that really critical and often tricky gap between having a great idea and actually making a real-world impact. This 5-step plan right here is basically your roadmap. Now, steps 1 and 2, finding a problem and coming up with ideas, we've talked about that. Then step 3, you pick the most promising one. But step 4 is the real game changer. Test it in a small way. Don't try to build the whole entire thing at once. Just create a little pilot program, a simple prototype. Why? So you can get to step 5, get actual feedback, and then improve it. It's a cycle of learning and building. And this is what that whole process leads to. It leads to real solutions, like using smartphones to get lessons into remote areas. It empowers women to start their own businesses from home. It gets young people excited about creating recycling campaigns in their own towns. See, these aren't just dreams. They are targeted, creative solutions that are making a real, measurable difference. So look, if you take just one thing away from our time together, let it be this. Creativity is not some exclusive gift for a chosen few. It is a skill. Innovation is a process. And what that means is that everyone, and I mean everyone, including you, has the ability to see a problem, come up with a new solution, and make a positive impact.
We've talked about what creative thinking is, why it matters so much, and the exact tools you can use to do it. So now you've got the toolkit, you've got the roadmap. The only question left to ask is, what will you create?